Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Time for a game of Big Deal, No Deal. We have help from a very big deal tonight. Brian Woodard once again is here. Thank you so much. I tip my cap to you. What is up first?
Following hundreds of controversial pardons by former Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin, there is talk in Frankfort of creating a pardons commission that would review cases and make recommendations to the governor. Mary Jo and Chip, is this a big deal or no deal?
Before Matt Bevin, I would have said not that big of a deal. Now I do think it's a big deal because somebody needs to instruct a governor if a child rapist should not be let free.
Absolutely, and I think Bevin brought attention to this, but I also believe when it comes to something that serious, it shouldn't come down to one person. You should have a panel, make recommendations, and so things like what Bevin tried to pull won't happen anymore.
That's right. All right, Brian, what's next?
iHeartRadio listeners in Kentucky are losing some beloved personalities following a round of layoffs this week, including Paul Rogers, Leland Conway, Ramsey and Rutherford, and Dead Air Dennis. How big is the deal here, guys?
You know, it's a big deal because these are our colleagues, whether we compete against them or whatever. Anytime that there is a layoff in media, it hurts my heart.
Yeah, and you know, it saddens me when I think back to the good old days. We'll never have that back.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at newspapers, you look at cable TV, you look at now radio. It's just all changed, and I don't know if it's for the better. A lot of good people lost jobs, but with the talent they have, they'll bounce back.
I sure believe that. All right, Brian, what's next?
College credentials are still a good value for Kentuckians, according to a new report issued by the State Council on Post-Secondary Education. Is this conclusion a big deal or no deal?
Well, I don't know that it's a huge deal. I think at least I assume that education is good.
Yeah, I mean, society places a value on a college education. So no matter what the cost, you know, you're going to do it and it's going to have value. So, and I think that's one of the reasons tuition keeps rising. They know everybody needs this, so we could charge whatever. So
that's the ugly side.
Yep.
All right, Brian, what's next?
There was an ugly moment during the first day of this week's Louisville Invitational Tournament when players for Seneca and Doss exchanged punches following a buzzer-beating layup that ended the opening game. Is this a big deal or no deal?
Yeah, I hate to see this, so I do think it's a big deal. Hopefully, you know, it was just tempers at the end of the game flaring up.
Yeah, and I know both coaches at Doss and Seneca, they're good guys who run class programs. It's just one of those things. It was a close game, you know, some tempers flared, but I don't think this is indicative of either program.
No, I think this just sometimes unfortunately happens. All right, Brian, what's next?
Only one Wildcat made ESPN's list of the top 25 players in college basketball. Mary Jo and Chip, is the selection of Nick Richards a big deal or no deal?
I think this is a huge deal because if you asked anyone, they would guess Maxey or Hagens or whatever, and they certainly wouldn't have thought at the beginning of the year that it'd be Nick Richards.
And you know, I think Nick is just starting to finally realize, hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
And you know, stuff like this can only enhance that.
Yeah.
Now, you get the sense, even the way he carries himself, the way he plays, he's like, wow, I'm actually good now.
Yeah,
so I
it's
think
different.
it's a big deal, no doubt about it.
He's got a different air about him. All right, Brian, what's next?
The UK football team has picked up another in-state commitment for 2020. Is the news about North Hardin linebacker Darren Green a big deal or no deal?
Always love it when we get in-state guys, and Coach John Summerall has done a pretty good job. I mean, I remember covering him. I'm sure you do too.
Great guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. And, you know, I think you want to lock up the state. Satterfield's trying to make up ground, but if you can keep him at bay and control the state, then, you know, that's going to be a big deal.
It will be.